Well, hello everybody. I'm going to take a few minutes to explain to you the process that I used when I was selling service that worked really well for me. So one of the secrets to this is I would print off all the invoices or estimates the night before or the morning before the day started and go ahead and make key tags for all of them so I don't have to do this when the customers come in. Also, I went ahead and got rid of all the black pens in the shop, so the pens were either blue or red. That way it would stand out on the ticket a little bit better so I could see it and it would pop and the tech would know what's going on and I knew what was going on. When the customer dropped off the car, I would write on the top of the ticket, drop off. I'd draw a line and then I'd ask the customer when they need the car done by. If they told me 5 o'clock, I would list it as 4 o'clock so that I had a little bit of a buffer. If it was a wait, I would go ahead and put a big W on it. Now some people do a red W, some people use a highlighter and put a W, but I'd put a big W on it and then I'd also list the time the car needed to be back by. Now with a waiting customer, I'm not going to do the hour buffer. I'm going to put the exact time that the car needs to be done by. I'm going to ask them how they want to be contacted. We need to make notes on a ticket so that anyone who picks up that ticket is going to know what's going on. So I'm going to ask them, what's the best number for you, and I'm going to circle it. If they tell me this number is good till 11 a.m., I'm going to write next to that, this number till 11 a.m., and then I'm going to circle the number you would call after 11 a.m. and write next to that after. The other thing I'm going to do is give the customer an hour time frame of when I'm going to call them. I will be giving you a call, Mrs. Johnson, between 10 and 11. That way, if for some reason their phone's not working or they're out getting groceries, they know by 12 o'clock if they haven't heard from you, they're going to call you. That way, everyone's on the same page. Once I get all my notes made, I'm going to go ahead and have them review it and then get them to sign it at the bottom. We went ahead and got the black sleeves and the red sleeves. Now, yes, when it's a wait, we're going to put a big W on the ticket. However, it's just a good way for everyone to know what's going on. You can see from across the shop, if it's in a red sleeve, then we know that it's a waiting job. If it's in a black sleeve, we know that it's a drop-off. It's just a good way for everyone to know what's going on. Go ahead and set up a hook for each technician in the shop, also one for general service. When you're hanging the tickets onto their hooks, put them in the order that you want them to look at. Make the decision for them. This is the one I want you to look at first, is in the front, then second, then third, then fourth. We also have hooks in the service department. Our first hook's going to be waiting on estimate. When the tech's done with the ticket, they're going to go ahead and hang it on the waiting on estimate hook, and when we have a chance, we'll get to it. Once we have a chance to talk to the customer or leave a message or waiting our approval, we're going to put that ticket onto the waiting for callback. That way we have a place to store it. We also know that if the tech comes in and needs to know what's going on, he can see right there that it's on the waiting on callback hook. He knows what's going on with that ticket. Our next one's going to be waiting on parts. Now, this is not for your Napa delivery at 3 o'clock or World Pack or stuff like that. This is more for your special order parts. So if it's coming from a dealer and it's going to take 2 or 3 days, or you have to order off the internet, we don't need to, clog the tech's hookup with that information. We're going to put on waiting on part. When the part comes in, we're going to put it onto his hook. Then he knows the part's there, he's ready to rock and roll, he knows what's going on. We're not confusing him with this extra ticket that's waiting on his hook for 3 or 4 days. Another hook we're going to have is sublet. This is for your windshields and your mirrors from the body shop and stuff like that. This way, when the guy comes in to replace the windshield and you're busy, the ticket's waiting right there on the hook. He knows exactly what he's got to do. It's not sitting on a tech hook when the tech's not doing the work. Everyone knows where everything's at. Lastly, we're going to have a completed and road tested hook. One, it's telling the techs it needs to be road tested right there in their face. 2, when they get done with the car, they're going to put the ticket on the hook. I always had a rule, no keys in pouches. The keys go on the board or they're in the car. So they need to put the ticket there when they're done and go ahead and hang the keys up. We'll get to it later. On the waiting for estimate hook, make sure you pull them in the order that you get them. So go ahead and pull them from the back. That way, as they're getting turned in, you're taking them. If the tech has something that he can't write on the ticket, he can write, "I need to explain, come see me when you have a minute." That way he doesn't have to bog you down when you're trying to write estimates and sell work. Now Brian's turned in his ticket, he can go back to his tech hook and start working on the next car. When you get the ticket, take a look at the courtesy check. If there's anything missing, highlight it or circle it, go ahead and put it back out on the technician's hook. Do not start working on that estimate until everything's filled out properly. This is going to solve your courtesy check problem very, very fast. If they don't want to do it, send them home for the day. When you order parts online, put the RO number and then also put the bay number. If you don't have your bays labeled with numbers, you should. Go ahead and train your parts delivery guys that you have numbers in the bays and explain to them on the invoice that they're bringing you, it says what bay number it is. When you number your bays and train the parts guy to deliver it to that bay, the technician's going to look at the part when it gets there. When they bring me the rotors, I don't know if they fit or not, but if they take them to the technician, he's going to know. If they're not right, the technician can pick up the phone and call a parts house. You're busy. You don't need to be bothered with this and get stuck in the middle. Have them give them a call. Then, while the parts guy's still there, he can send back the wrong parts. If he needs to send back the old part to get it matched up, he can. That way they can solve the problem on their own and get the right parts coming. Now, when you sell the ticket, go ahead and write on the ticket the name of the supplier that you're getting it from, the time that you ordered it, and then also the time the car needs to be completed. Most of your technicians already know that if it's coming from Napa, it's going to be about 30 minutes to an hour. They know you ordered it at 10:30, they should be seeing it between 11 and 11:30. If they don't see the part, they can pick up the phone and give Napa a call and figure out what's going on without bothering you. Now, obviously, if the part's coming from the dealer, ask the dealer, what time should I see it today? Between 2 and 2:30. Write on the ticket, Tish or Audi, between 2 and 2:30. That way the tech knows what's going on. If there's a problem, they can call the Audi dealership and figure out what to do about it. Now, if it's a special order part, write the date that you plan on it coming in and a time you plan on getting it delivered to you. Go ahead and put that one on waiting on parts. When you get that part, you're going to give it to the technician. If you don't currently have a list of all your vendors with their phone numbers next to it, near the phone in the shop, you need to do that. It's going to save you a ton of time if your technicians can call to help solve problems and you're not always stuck in the middle. Usually when they need a part, they don't have anything else to do but wait on that part. So have them give a call to the parts house and figure out what's going on. Let your technician yell at them, not yell at you to yell at them. At this point, you now have your technician working without having to even talk to him. Now, at 10 o'clock and at 2 o'clock, we're going to do a lap, just so that everybody's on the same page. We're going to walk around the shop and we're going to talk to everybody to make sure everyone knows what they should be doing. When I make my laps, I go ahead and print off a screenshot from your computer of your work in progress screen. That way you have a list of every job that's under every technician, so you're not going to miss one when you talk to him about what's going on that day or the next day or what we're still trying to get completed. When we talk to the technician, we're really trying to get a game plan set up. What cars do we still need to look at? What order do they need to be looked at in? What cars are we still waiting on callbacks? That lady hasn't called back yet. It's 2 o'clock. Get that car out of the way. We'll deal with it tomorrow when she calls us back. Also, what else still needs to get looked at for that day? Are we, behind right now? Are we caught up? Does a technician need a part that's wrong? Find out what's going on. Find out what you need to do to keep the process moving forward. I'm going to call every single customer to give them an update. If the car's been there for a week because we're waiting on a part, I don't care. I'm going to call them, give them a quick update, let them know, hey, we're still waiting on that part. Once it gets in, I'll give you a call and give you an update that it's here, and we're still shooting for Friday. Just so they know what's going on. They're giving you a lot of trust to leave their car with you for a week. You need to update them. When you go ahead and call all the other customers, hi, Mrs. Johnson, this is Peyton. I just wanted to call you real quick, let you know that we have the parts here. Everything looks right. Unless something comes up, you should have the car done today by 5 o'clock. If anything comes up, I will definitely give you a call right away. Does that sound good? Most of the times you leave a voicemail and they're just happy to know that the car is going to be done. This is a couple things. One, it's going to stop all those phone calls at 4:30. Oh, is my car done? What's going on when you're trying to check customers out? Everybody knows what's going on. Also, when you talk to them about their car, they're going to most likely sometimes tell you, I don't need the car till tomorrow, or I'm out of town, I'm not going to pick up the car till Friday anyway, just go ahead and get the work done and we'll pick it up on Friday. Now, if the customer says, that's great, Peyton, but I'm not picking up the car till tomorrow afternoon anyway, confirm that with them before you move the car to getting fixed at a different time. Because what happens a lot is you'll say that, and then they'll come that afternoon and decide, oh, I just decided to pick it up since I knew it was going to be done. If you're going to move their car in your process, go and let them know, hey, Mrs. Johnson, I have a car I need to get done this afternoon. If it's okay with you, I'll go ahead and get that one done ahead of yours, and I'll get yours done later this afternoon since you're not going to pick it up till tomorrow anyway. 9 times out of 10, they're fine with that. But this way, they don't just show up that afternoon expecting the car to be done. When you're done making your 2 o'clock phone calls, go ahead and update your technicians. Let them know Mrs. Johnson's not picking up her car till tomorrow. Let's go ahead and get the Toyota done. Let's take a look at the BMW this afternoon, and we'll take care of Mrs. Johnson's car first thing in the morning. We got plenty of time. And ask your techs when you go to talk to them, is there anything that you need? Is there anything that I can do to help you? Is there anything that you're waiting on? At this point in the afternoon, you usually are caught up. If they're waiting on a part, then you go make the phone call because now you have time and they're busy. When the car has been completed, they need to go ahead and road test it, obviously, and hang the ticket on the hook that says completed and road tested, and then hang up the keys on the board. When you get that completed ticket, go ahead and print off a new copy, give the customer a call, and circle the number that you called. If you left a message, write LM, the time, and then your initials. That way everybody knows who called them and left them a message. If you talk to them live, write live, the name of the person you talked to, and then the time and your initials. This way everyone knows what's going on. Then when the wife or the husband shows up and says, hey, you never called me, we can say, hey, look, Peyton gave you a call at 3:07 to let you know the car was completed on this phone number. Were you at this phone number? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was out of the office. I was on my cell phone. That way we look professional, that we know what we're doing, and the customer's not mad anymore. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if there's anything else that we can do, please let us know. I'll go ahead and put my email below. Shoot me an email, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.